reason why, this is Sheikh Salih Al-Usaymi, not Suhaimi, Sheikh Salih Al-Usaymi from Riyadh, from Hayat Kibar Al-Ulama, Hafidhullah Ta'ala. He's on the committee of major scholars in Saudi Arabia. And he's one of the prominent scholars that I've sat with that deal with this concept of bare minimums, right? The obligatory minimums of Iman. The other is Sheikh Salih al-Sheikh, Hafidhullah Ta'ala, but I couldn't find anything that that was succinct. So this is 4 minutes. We'll let it play and I'll translate it as it goes, inshallah. طيب.
وأما أركانه فهي الستة المعدودة في قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن تؤمن بالله وملائكته الحديث. فأولها الإيمان بالله، والقدر الواجب المجزئ من الإيمان بالله هو الإيمان بوجوده ربا معبودا له الأسماء الحسنى والصفات العلى. هو الإيمان بوجوده ربا معبودا له الأسماء الحسنى والصفات العلى.
So what he said was that the first tenet of faith is belief in Allah. And this is called in Arabic Al-Qadr Al-Wajib Al-Mujzi. Al-Qadr Al-Wajib Al-Mujzi, which means that it is the obligatory minimum level of faith that you have to have. Obligatory minimum, okay? Which you can see here, well, okay, which was there. Okay, obligatory minimums. So, what is that first obligatory minimum? It's the belief in Allah, belief in His existence, as Lord. He said, Rabban wa ilahan. That is, He is both the Lord, and when we say Rabb, for those of you taking Sheikh Hanif's class, what does that cover? The caretaker. Okay, Master. What does it cover though? What major areas? Creation, and provision. All right, which I think that's probably what you meant when you said the caretaker, right? Yeah. So both creation, provisions, and management. I mean, that is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator of everything in existence, its provider, and the manager of the affairs, the heavens and the earth. All right? So, belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the creator, as the one who deserves to be worshipped, and the one who has the most beautiful names and lofty attributes. All right? So, that's as it relates to your belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the bare minimum. Bare minimum.
وثانيها الإيمان بالملائكة، والقدر الواجب المجزئ من الإيمان بالملائكة هو الإيمان بأنهم خلق من خلق الله.
So that's the first thing. The obligatory minimum is that you have to believe that the angels are a creation from the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He created them. Not that there's some type of mythical beings. Right? You have to believe that they exist. This is bare minimum.
وأن منهم من ينزل بالوحي على الأنبياء بأمر الله هو الإيمان بأنهم خلق من خلق الله وأن منهم من ينزل بالوحي على الأنبياء بأمر الله.
And that from amongst them there are those who bring down the revelation to the prophets from Allah. Jayyid? So that's the bare, when we think about angels, what are their responsibilities? We know that there are angels that move the clouds, that there are angels that do so many other things, that there are angels that write down your deeds to the end of it. But that part is not wajib to believe in unless you know. All right? So what are these bare minimums talking about? Bare minimums mean what? These are things that every Muslim has to know. Learn it, unlearn it, whatever. You have to know that. then as the information comes to you, you learn more, and you learn more from the Quran, from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, then you have to believe in those things that come from Allah and His Messenger. But these are the bare minimums, meaning that somebody who doesn't know these other things because they didn't study or whatever the situation may be, they can be excused for that. But this part right here, there's no excuse. Why is this also important? Because those who are dealing with new Muslims or Muslims who are coming back to their deen and they just, with somewhere else, this has to be your focus. They have to know what they have to believe. And what they do is going to be based off of what they believe.
وثالثها الإيمان بالكتب والقدر الواجب المجزئ من الإيمان بالكتب هو الإيمان بأن الله أنزل على من شاء من أنبيائه كتبا هي كلامه. هو الإيمان بأن الله أنزل على من شاء من أنبيائه كتبا هي كلامه.
So the third point is belief in or having faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's books. And the bare minimum, the obligatory minimum, is to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down books to whom He chose from His prophets, and that those books are His speech.
ليحكموا بين الناس فيما اختلفوا فيه. ليحكموا بين الناس فيما اختلفوا فيه.
And that the purpose of these books is to rule between the people in those things which they have differed. In other words, the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the purpose of it is guidance. And if we look, there was a time when the Muslims, I'm not talking about here in America, I'm saying there was a time historically when the Muslims controlled a large portion of the world, and when people looked up to the Muslims, not the other way around, where even the Muslims in many of our Muslim countries look up to the West, and specifically the United States of America, that they want to emulate what's happening here. And subhanAllah, when the Muslims were in control, and when the Muslims controlled the narrative, it was when they had a strong connection to revelation. And it makes a lot of sense, because this revelation was sent down for guidance. And if we follow that guidance, we will be able to create that narrative. And if we don't, we're going to be following everything else. And it's people's philosophies, Allah musta'an, even if they say it's backed up by this or science and empirical evidence and all that stuff. If it goes against the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is not going to lead you to anything that is positive.
منسوخة بالقرآن.
And that all of those books have been abrogated by the Quran.
وأنها جميعا منسوخة بالقرآن. ورابعها الإيمان بالرسل.
The fourth is
والقدر
belief in the messengers.
الواجب المجزئ من الإيمان بالرسل هو الإيمان بأن الله أرسل إلى الناس رسلا منهم. هو الإيمان بأن الله أرسل إلى الناس رسلا منهم ليأمروهم بعبادة الله. ليأمروهم بعبادة الله.
So that He sent these messengers to people from the people, right? That these were not, because the angels are also messengers, but He sent to people, other people, right? To command them with the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that the last of them is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The fifth, belief in the last day. And the obligatory minimum of this belief in the last day, it is to believe in the ba'ath. So this part is important. is to believe that there is a resurrection. You have to believe that. And then you'll see. He says on a great day, it's called Yawm al-Qiyamah.
هو الإيمان بالبعث في يوم عظيم هو يوم القيامة لمجازات الخلق فمن أحسن فله الحسنى وداره الجنة.
And the purpose is to do what? Mujazat al-khalq, is that everybody is rewarded. And that term reward, as we've talked about before, doesn't just mean something good. Even in English, the term reward doesn't just mean something good. If somebody does something bad, they'll be rewarded with bad. So the point is to hold people or to hold the creation to account. So whoever does good, his reward is Jannah. Man ahsana falahu Jannah.
جعل الله وإياكم من أهلها.
He said, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us and you from amongst its people. I mean the people of Jannah. Ameen.
فمن أحسن فله الحسنى وداره الجنة ومن أساء فله ما عمل ومن.
And whoever does evil, then for him will be that which he has done. He will be rewarded accordingly.
أساء فله ما عمل وجزاؤه النار أعاذ الله وإياكم منها.
And
وسادسها
his reward will be the fire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you and us from it. And then this is the last now.
الإيمان بالقدر خيره وشره.
Is to believe in Allah's decree, the good of it and the evil of it.
والقدر الواجب المجزئ من الإيمان بالقدر هو الإيمان بأن الله قدر كل شيء أزلا.
And so the bare minimum is to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed everything in existence from the beginning of time. أزلا, يعني eternally.
والإيمان بأن الله قدر كل شيء أزلا أي فيما سبق وتقدم وأنه لا يكون شيء إلا بمشيئته وخلقه.
And that nothing will come into existence without His will and without Him creating it.
أنه لا يكون شيء إلا بمشيئته وخلقه. وأما أركانه فهي الستة المعدودة.
Okay, so that's where it stopped. So the bare minimum of belief in Qadr is what? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed everything that has happened, okay, and that will happen, and that nothing happens without His will and His creating it. Okay? Tahir, Sheikh. So the point is we have to have yaqeen in those things. We have to have certainty in those bare minimums. Then, as more information comes, your iman grows, because your iman grows through two things: beneficial knowledge and righteous actions. So the more you get of that beneficial knowledge, the more your iman grows. And that is one thing about our deen. When it comes to these theological points and those things that relate to our creed, we have details that no other deen has. And we have preserved revelation. Like, we don't have to do a lot of guesswork. But a lot of other, books that have been tampered with, they have to do a lot of putting of their pieces together by themselves without the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When it comes to matters of the unseen, putting those pieces together doesn't do a lot of help. It doesn't bring a lot of benefit. طيب.
وأما